everybody, it's Ilene here, and I was just putting some flowers together, and I'm just going to continue with that. I started these flowers, I didn't get a chance to finish them. These are the ones that were die cut. I have my baggie here full of stuff so then I could take it to dance or wherever the girls are when they're at dance or wherever to make them. I also have some paper bag ones here that I've punched out. So these are the different pieces I have punched out. And I just put them, like I said, in the baggie so then I could take them with me and keep busy when I was at dance or whatnot. So these are the materials that I put in here for adding it a little bit more puffy. These are the big stamps, or the big ones. Here's the next size down, and these are the flowery ones here. So this is them right here, like this. So I'm just going to put flowers together because I haven't done them for you guys yet, putting them together. Here's the smallest size, like these shape. And here's the material for this size here. Anyways, so we're going to put them together right now. And we're doing a purpley one. So yeah, I'm going to do some of these colors right here. So I think I'm going to go with this one, and this one right here. So I put these ones away. Now for these ones, I did ink the edges a bit with black ink. And now I'm going to grab some purples of this wood. This is kind of a pinky color, purpley. And I'm going to go with a couple of whites. I'm going to go with 3. Oh, and I'm going to get this dark one. I dyed this tool here a little darker gray to go with that wedding, or go with that dress that I made body form. Okay, so I use those. I'm just going to ink up these ones. So I used to use this part with the paper on the end here when I'm using this somewhere, usually. Just doing the edges a bit just to darken it up. It works really better on the, oops, I'll put this one away. It works better on the lighter colors, it shows better. But it gives it some kind of depth, so. I like a little bit of a grunge look too, which sometimes is nice. If you're not going for pretty, but still pretty. You could also do like purple or whatever too, but I'm just doing the black to kind of make it show up a bit. So I'm going to put the darker one first, and probably this one and then this one. So I'm going to go with the darker purple, lacy on top of that. Or you know what, I'm going to do the pinky first, and then I'm going to do the lacy purple, and then I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these, and this one maybe be on top. So what I normally do is okay, so I will choose, I think I've chosen this to go there, and I'm just going to move the leaves so they're not directly over. Then I'm going to put this pinky one over. Can you see it? I'm a little high. And then I'm going to put this one on. And I'm going to put this one over like that. Sometimes I crunch them before, sometimes I crunch them after. I think I'm going to crunch these ones after in my hands to give them some depth. Then I'm going to go with the darker one. This kind of material, it's kind of papery material. And I'm just going to do layers like that. You could do book paper layers in there as well. I'm just, with this particular one, I'm going just the cards, not quite cardstock, but scrapbooking paper. It's a cheaper dollar store scrapbooking paper. And to make it not move, because I'm on this board, I could push my pokey type of tool in there and hold everything together. Then you can kind of move it around a bit and work on it, and it makes it easier for me to hold it together and play with the pieces in between. If I'm breathing funny and heavy, it's because I have a cold now, I guess, since I wasn't feeling well yesterday and then all of a sudden a cold came on. So I'm doing quite a few of these. I think I'm going to do quite a few. I have lots of tools, so and my ears are really plugged and they just popped. Wow. Now I hear totally different. Now it doesn't sound like I'm breathing funny, so maybe it was just my ears. See how nice that is? That's so cool, so cute. Now I'm going to go with, instead of going with this next size up, I'm just going to go with maybe just a little one, or I might just go with directly with a nice purple pin. I might put a little, you know, a little one like that in there. See what other colors we have. I think I'll go like this. I think I will go like this and this. Right down the center. Try to overlap the petals. And do a couple of these here at the end. Like that. Now I have a purple pin here. Purple brad. I'm actually wondering if I'm going to need, the brad's not looking that great. Okay. Let's push this to the side here. Oops, this is coming undone. Yay! Okay, I'm going to put this to the side a bit, clean up my mess here. that all together. So I don't want my flower popping up. It's kind of handy to keep all the sizes together, and then eventually if I got to be punching out a lot more, you could do colors kind of together as well. And like colors, sizes, or whatever. But so I have that right here waiting for me. Okay, but I was looking at my brad just now, and I'm not really too pleased with the color of the brad. And what I did to get the color of the brad was I just painted it with nail polish. So then you don't have to go and buy expensive colored brads. You could just paint them and then have matching or whatever contrasting colors that you like instead of just the silver all the time, or the brass color of the brads. Or you could do yellow, you know. You could even emboss them. But I didn't do a second coat, I'm guessing, on these. So that's probably why they weren't quite this. Now they're really nice. And I have black brads and stuff I bought on a good deal in different sizes, and star brads as well. But they're not always cheap to buy. So if you buy a box of 100 brads and you have all this nail polish, you can paint them any sparkly, any color you want. As long as you do a couple of layers, they look great. And you can even glue paper on them to match your work. So, and maybe one of these days we can go over that. It's really not hard to do. But anyways, for now, I'm just doing the brad. I'm going to let it dry here. One of the reasons why I like using the brads is because, like I said, I like doing it this way rather than gluing. And then you just put a brad right through it. And then that's, you know, you can glue a center, like the button centers and stuff like that too. But right now, I'm just liking using the brad. I find it convenient using my pad. It's a thicker foam craft pad, and I just like the convenience of poking it through, having my project held. And while this is still drying just a little bit, I'm going to show you some of my other flowers that I made. And I'm just going to grab them here while I'm talking about this. May as well. Alright, I made these little, these are my garbage, or not garbage, lunch bags. And when you cut out, this is a paper, a lunch bag paper one, and I embossed it. And when you cut the paper for these, I know I'm going kind of all over today with this, sorry. When you cut the paper for these, it's nice to you see how the fold is right here? I'm gonna move the camera up a bit. Okay, so it has this fold right here, you know, the bottom flap. And what I do is I cut the bottom flap right off, right off. And then I use this paper to emboss. And then you can make a little, you have a little bin here for your embellishments or whatever you're working on at your spot. It's great for kids because it can get thrown out after, right? So you could just throw your little pieces in here for parties or whatever when you're doing crafting or whatever. But anyways, that's what I do. And then when you do work with this piece, to emboss this, to make the flowers, if you want to make paper bag flowers, it's cheap and they look really nice. I cut the seam out. And then I keep the seam because you can stamp letters on it and still use it for a paper, right? You can stamp words or saying on it. It's not a bad piece of paper, and it's nice and thick, so you can glue it on and stamp paper on it, so, or words. And so you have all of this as a nice sheet of paper. You fold it, and you can throw it in your embossing, your big kicks or whatever, and emboss it. And then that's what I do with it. You don't have to, but this is what I did. I embossed it. You can see the embossing on this one. And then I went over it with ink. And I didn't go over it until after it was together because it's a fine paper. So after I crunched it all up like this and I went over it, and I just took the makeup brush like this and I just went over it. And I did a little bit of pink as well and purple. I actually sprayed a little bit of alcohol ink in it. That's what that was. But you can do it pink and purple inks too. But anyways, that one's a lunch bag. And I have this black brad in here. And this one is as well a lunch bag one, and I just used the hole punch, the flower punch sorry, and I have 3 sizes. I have this size here, you can see how small they are, and then I have this next size, and then the very teeny weeny size, and it's very small. And what I did was I just put 1, 2, 3, I think 6 garbage lunch bags, and then 6 little next sizes, and then 3 the littlest sizes. And I have small teeny weeny brads on this one. I put them together, crunched them all up, then I stamped them with my rock star stamp all over. And that's how I got that look. And I just stamp, flip it over, and stamp, and wasn't too careful in how I stamped it, so then it kind of did that, because it's a floppy material, like the lunch bags are thin these days, but they look nice. This one is the book paper, but anyways, this is a brad, just a regular brad. This one is my flower I put in between there, the nail polish flower. This is a regular brad, so I'm really liking sticking it through. I like that, the way it works. This one's a regular brad as well. And I just started crunching them like this. Sometimes I'll crunch them before I put them all together. Sometimes I'll crunch them after. Another brad, and I inked that brad up because it was a white brad. There's another one with a brad on it. This one is my nail polish flower. My nice nail polish flower center. A brad that I inked up. This one's black, nail polish flower. So I'm really liking things going through it. White, another brad, and I think they're all have brads, and this one's my star brad. And these ones are the ones I tore. These are the tethered ones with the garbage bags. These ones have the garbage Walmart bags, and I melted them a little bit. These ones have nothing in between. They're just all natural book paper. But they have the black brads. Now I think my brad should be dry now. So I'm finding them easy and fun, and I don't think I would like to deal with the sticky glue and the petals and all that kind of stuff. I haven't really tried it. I think, well, I have obviously made flowers with them glue, but when you're making this many, for me, I don't like playing with the glue. When I make with the same punches that I did the paper, the rounded ones, and I cut the edges here, and oh, I got black on here somehow. Anyways, these I glued, and these are just cardstock. But these little ones, if I were to do separate little like flowers for like a handful like that, but when I'm doing them like a big bunch of them like the way we've been doing them, I like to use brads because I find it faster. So now that I've been talking your ear off, this guy should be done. So he is done. And this is a very long one, which could probably come in handy, I don't know, for some projects, depending on how you're sticking them on something. But with your tool, your side cutting, wire cutting tool, you can, of course I'm having trouble, because that's just the way it goes when you're doing something, which is probably because of all this mesh, to be honest with you, because it does catch on it. And if you notice, there's like one sticks out further than the other one, so the mesh always wants to stick to the second one. Drives me batty sometimes. Anyways, it really sucks on the short ones because then I'm like trying to get it through my little mini ones. So that is with the brad, and that's a purple one that I just painted. So then you just take your side cutters. I'm going to take my larger ones instead of my little jeweler ones. Because I have these larger ones. I also have my little jewelry ones, but you don't want to dull them with a big brad, so there we go. Simple. You could take a little file after, just because they're a little bit sharp, and if you give them away, no one's really going to expect the back to be sharp, and it doesn't take very much there. But this, without doing that, is very sharp, and this one already is just like the regular brad sharpness, which is not very sharp. But you don't want it to catch on someone's finger. And that's it. And another thing I like about using brads is that if I find that, look how the flower is looking right here, I could twist it. And that's what I like about using them, is you can twist the flowers. So anyways, this one's pretty flat. Now you can just go crazy and crunch it up. And like I said, sometimes I crunch them before and I crunch them into a ball and then I slowly take them apart. And then sometimes I'm in the mood to do it after, because maybe I don't want it quite so crunched or whatever. Or I want the center more crazy. And that's it. And that's my flower. And that's one of them. So these are like more of like a funky flowers, so obviously they're not going to look too realistic, but they do still obviously look realistic enough to like, hey, look at the flower. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's a little long, but a lot of jibber jabber, I guess. But yeah, if you want to match your brads, just no problem, paint them any color you want. You could put a nice purple base and then put purple sparkles over top. You could put white nail polish as a light base, white base, and then do color on top. You could do green, whatever, to make your nice little flower brads pretty. Thanks, guys. I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.